Okay, this video is going to be about the Cleveland Cavaliers and how they suck. How Tyronn Lue is the worst coach. And how Brian Windhorst doesn't get it. Now, I bring up Brian Windhorst because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to more podcasts than you can shake a stick at. A lot of them are about basketball, and a lot of them are about my team, the Cavs, and LeBron. And I listen to this guy, Brian Windhorst, all the time, and he's always kind of defending the Cavs. And he's always, oh, the Cavs are playing good. The Cavs are this, or making excuses. Excuse me for a second. I had to sneeze. But, he's always, oh, the Cavs, they've got this player injured. They've got that player injured. They haven't had time to play together. They blah, 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 blah. They had a great. They're playing. They're hot. I heard him on one podcast. He got kind of almost defensive. Oh, the Cavs are hot because at that time they had won, 3 out of 4 or something stupid. Well, no normal human being thinks is hot. But the point is, excuse me for a second again. Cavs. Tyronn Lue is a terrible coach. That's my opinion. That's my opinion why this team that should be so much better than their record says they are is underachieving, and they're terrible. Here's the thing. David Blatt. I'm looking at it, and David Blatt realistically did so much better of a job than Tyronn Lue. And everybody wants to run Blatt out, up a flagpole, and he was terrible, and this and that. But what? I mean, let's look at the facts. The Cavs had a much better regular season record under Blatt. Even last year, the first half of the season under Blatt, they had a much stronger record than the second half of the year under Lue. And look at the Cavs this year. Their record continues to just be so lackluster. And you can sit there and say regular season doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. It does matter. It's always mattered. Why do people think Golden State is such a juggernaut? Why would the Vegas odds show Golden State being a huge favorite over Cleveland? Because of the regular season. This goes back 3 regular seasons. But let's say the first year that they won the title. Why did we know they were probably going to win the title? Because we looked and their record was astounding. I mean, this isn't football or something. The regular season tells you who's good and who's not. And the Cavs just muddling, being very average in the regular season, it means something. It really does. And Golden State, and San Antonio and all these teams, we know Golden State's good because they tear it up in the regular season. And that's what the Cavs have not been doing. And like I said, going back to Blatt versus Lue and their coaching credentials. So Blatt had a much better regular season record than Lue. And what's the difference? Okay, Lue got a title and Blatt didn't. But really look at it. Blatt didn't have Kevin Love and he didn't have Kyrie Irving. You want to talk about excuses in the finals the year he went to the finals. So you can't even compare them. Lue had Love and he had Irving. Blatt had neither, and they still won 2 games. And compare that to Lue. The Cavs won by the skin of their teeth last year. I don't care who you are, I'm the biggest Cavs fan in the world, but it's debatable if they quote unquote deserve to. Honestly, in my heart of hearts, do I think Cleveland was better than Golden State last year? Probably not. If they play that series 10 times, does Cleveland win 8? Does Golden State win 8? Does Golden State win 9? Yeah, that's about the only debate in my mind. the fact is, it was a lucky Cleveland win. I hate to say that, but they they got hot. The ball bounced their way, this and that, and they pulled out the win. But to give Lue basically a lifetime deal over a lucky finals, which basically is what I feel like he has, is stupid, And as I said, you can't even compare it to Blatt because Blatt didn't have his full team. Maybe Blatt would have won the finals with Irving and Love, So that's what we have to go on. Every objective fact we have to go on, regular season record. Blatt was just better than Lue as the Cavs were better under Blatt than Lue. Now here's the caveat to that. I understand that LeBron James, basically he's a big whiny baby, and he wants to do what he wants to do. And he decided, I don't want to play for David Blatt. I mean, I could read his body language much as the next person. He hated Blatt, and he's a big pouty baby, and he didn't get his way. And so he pouted and didn't play hard and had a bad attitude. That's on him. And I see that now, he likes playing for Lue, and he's much more joyous, and he plays hard. Okay, that's all good and well and good, but, the House of Cards is only lasting so long, and I feel like it's coming down right now. And the Brian Windhorsts of the world are going to sit on their podcasts, and they're going to, they're just going to make excuses as the House of Cards burns down. And it's not going to, sadly, nobody's going to realize it until they get, I think they may get upset and early, I think they may not make the finals, forget win the finals. I see it coming. It's so obvious that they're a big upset possibility. I saw Bill Simmons on Twitter this evening joking about it, Boston just beat Golden State tonight. And Simmons was on Twitter, this is a great preview of the finals, game 1 in June. And, he's being sarcastic, trolling, whatever. But he smells what everybody else does. It looks like it may happen to me. Because I am not at all happy with this Cleveland team and how things are going. I mean, this team is so listless, so lifeless. They can't beat anybody, They're bad. That's what's sad. They're bad. They showed it in February or January. They bounced back a little in March. Even their wins don't leave you feeling good. That's the mark of a bad team. And I've been following sports for a lot of years. I know the mark of a bad team. I followed some Cowboys teams after Jimmy Johnson left that they were riding on fumes, and they still won a lot of regular season games, but they were bad. And I could tell, I could tell the way they were winning wasn't the way you win. They couldn't run the ball for shit, for example. Those kind of things. Okay, they won a game, I think 31-10 or something. And I remember talking to my boss at work about it, and I was like, they look terrible. And, he didn't see the game. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, they look terrible. They couldn't run the ball. A 3rd and 1, forget it. They had no chance, And lo and behold, it came true. They weren't good. And he told me later that, they ended up not being good that season. He told me later, you nailed it when I asked you on that game that I didn't see. You told me they looked terrible even though they won 31-10 or whatever it was. You can just tell when a team can win and even blow the other team out, and you can just tell that it's not right. And that's the way I feel about the Cavs. Even this win they got the other night where they beat the Hawks, an actual road win, which is almost never happens for these lackluster Cavs. They beat the Hawks 135-130 the other night, as we see here. That game, I just left it going like, what the hell? You can't win 135-130. That's a joke team. That's a joke score. What is that? What are you doing, Tyronn Lue? What the fuck are you doing? Ty Lue is terrible. We have to get rid of him. Like I say, even these wins, we're not playing any defense. 135-130, what is that? Is that a joke? That's one of those it's a win, but, I've seen, like I said, I've watched sports a long time. I know when you're not winning like you're supposed to win. When you leave a win shaking your head. And that was one of those wins where it's like, that's a win, but this team is in deep trouble, you know? That's not how you want to win. That's Tyronn Lue bullshit right there. That's a sloppy, undisciplined team that thinks it's funny that they're hitting a lot of threes, and so they don't care that the other team is running through and scoring on them like nothing, you know? Anyways, so, yeah, and another thing I wanted to point out was that, look at our record. Let me see here. Look at the standings. We've played way more games at home than we have on the road the whole season, but so our record is actually better than it should be. Very lackluster record. Look at this, .677 win percentage. That's on pace, I already figured up, to win about 55 games. Worse than even last year, which was very lackluster. We should do a hell of a lot better than that with LeBron James. Tyronn Lue had a bad second half regular season record, and we won 57 games. This year we're on pace to win 55 right now. We're not even going to get there. Because look at this, we've played 33 home games, 29 road. We've got 4 more on the road than home the rest of the way. And we're barely over 500 on the road, 16-13. You know, we're sunk. We may win 52 games, you know. It's pathetic, and you can make all the injury excuses you want, and people will. It's not like this team was burning up barns when we had Love and J.R. Smith. You know, every team has injuries. And I don't even think Irving and Love are that good of players, to be honest. I know that sounds stupid, and I'm running out of time in this video to explain that, but, you know, they're not two-way players. They're not. Look at the Cavs' record without LeBron. It's 4-20 the last 2 seasons, something like that. That tells you how good Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are. This would be an expansion team if they had Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, if they had the whole roster minus LeBron. The record tells you it's an expansion team without LeBron. So yeah, I mean, you lose Love and Love and J.R. Smith. Sorry. Right now, but that's an excuse. You know, you're going to use that excuse until the Cavs go, and they're going to blow up in the playoffs. I'm not, you know, I wouldn't bet my life on. I wouldn't bet a lot of money on it, but I can see it happening. You know, it's coming, and we can all see it. That it's a very good chance they're going to get upset by the Celtics. They could get upset by the Heat in the first round. The Heat just beat them home and home. And the Heat are coming hard, and they're probably going to be the 8 seed if the Cavs are the 1, something like that. It could be Cavs 2, Heat 7. And they could lose easily that series. I mean, and that's when the reckoning is going to come, and people are going to finally realize. But I doubt Tyronn Lue will get fired. He should be. But yeah, that's the deal there. It's, you know, the Cavs need help. They're a terrible team. Stop making excuses for them. Tyronn Lue is terrible. This team is loaded with talent. We should be the Golden State Warriors. We should be 52-12 right now, not 42-20. Tyronn Lue is ruining this team. He's ruining the potential we have, and you know, he's coasting off a lucky finals win, and that shit's running out. It's running out fast. And like I say, everybody's going to give him a pass, and guess what? We're going to get upset in the second round or some shit. You know, anyone who doesn't see it coming, doesn't see the signs, you know, maybe it will luck out and maybe it won't. And I hope that more than anything. And I hope we go and win another title. But, you know, and then I'll say, well, I was wrong. But, you know, if you have a brain, you can see it coming. Stop making excuses. This team is bad. This team is in disarray. This team does not feel good about itself. This team isn't winning how it's supposed to. This team has a terrible coach and has no discipline. You know, what is Tyronn Lue playing LeBron 48 minutes a game for? So they can be 42-20. You know, is he trying to get the first seed really hard? He's 2.5 up, and that's after Boston is struggling. You know, he's going to play LeBron 40 minutes a game on average, and he's not even going to get the first seed at this rate. I mean, remember, we have way more road games coming up than home games, which is the reverse of what Boston has. So, yes, fire Tyronn Lue. The Cavs are terrible. Stop trying to hide the fact that, you know, they're terrible. Brian Windhorst. They're not good. They're losing games right and left because they're bad. Have a good one.